The starry void stretched endlessly above Marcus Kane as he stood on the ridge of a scorched planet. The ground beneath him was cracked, blackened from battles long past. Smoke rose from distant ruins, and the air smelled of burning metal. For years, humanity had been struggling to survive among the stars, often facing stronger alien civilizations. But Marcus had never feared a fight. He tightened his grip on his plasma rifle, scanning the horizon. A small human colony had sent a distress signal, reporting a marauding war band of Noctari, vampire-like aliens with sharp fangs, pale skin, and eyes that gleamed in the dark. They struck quickly, taking what they wanted, leaving fear and death behind. Marcus had been sent to stop them. The Noctari were not ordinary enemies. They were fast, cunning, and incredibly strong. Many human soldiers had fallen to them in seconds. Marcus, however, was different. He had fought on worlds humans had long abandoned, survived battles where the odds were impossible, and earned the name Iron Hand among those who knew of him. The sun began to rise over the jagged horizon. The Noctari camp lay in a valley below. Marcus crouched, observing them. Dozens of pale figures moved among black tents, unaware of his presence. At their center was a woman. She was taller than any human woman, with long silver hair that shimmered even in the dim light. Her eyes glowed faintly red, and she moved with an elegance that spoke of both danger and power. "That must be her," Marcus muttered. "The payment." He remembered the message from the Noctari leader. "We offer her to you. Take her as your price, and we will leave your people unharmed." The words had made him pause. In his life, people had offered gold, weapons, or territory, never a living being. But the Noctari were different. Among their kind, giving a female as payment was both a promise and a test. Marcus exhaled slowly. "I will accept the deal, but on my terms." He didn't want a servant, nor a trophy. This woman was dangerous, and he respected strength. He descended into the valley under the cover of smoke and ruined walls. He moved silently, each step measured. When he reached the camp, he saw the Noctari guards tense, their claws flexing, but they did not attack. They knew Marcus's reputation. "I am here for the payment," Marcus said aloud, his voice calm but firm. The camp fell silent. Then the woman stepped forward. She regarded him with sharp, piercing eyes. "So, the human comes to claim me," she said, her voice smooth like silk, but edged with steel. "I am Lyra, and I will not be caged like some prize." Marcus studied her. She was tall, deadly, and proud. "You are not a prize," he said evenly. "You are a warrior, and I respect that. But your people agreed to this. I will not harm you, but you will come with me." Lyra's lips curved into a small, dangerous smile. "Do you know what you're saying? I could end your life in a heartbeat." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "I know, and if I thought you could, I'd be dead by now. But I'm still standing." She studied him for a long moment, then nodded slightly. "Very well. I will go. But remember, human, I owe you nothing. Do not mistake my compliance for loyalty." Marcus nodded. "I wouldn't. You are free to go when you wish. I am not your master." The Noctari guards watched in silence as Lyra stepped forward. Marcus extended a hand. She hesitated, then took it. Her grip was strong, unyielding. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. This was not going to be easy, but he liked that. They left the camp and boarded his shuttle. The journey back to the human colony was quiet, tense. Lyra didn't speak much, only observing Marcus and the stars outside. He, in turn, studied her. She was unlike any being he had met. Not just her strength, but her mind. She seemed always alert, always analyzing. "You fight well," Marcus finally said. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "I have had to survive. The weak do not live long among my kind." I know that feeling, Marcus said. Among humans, only the strong survive as well. We may be different, but survival teaches respect. She gave a small, almost imperceptible nod. It was the first sign of acknowledgement. Hours passed. The shuttle hummed quietly, carrying them across the stars. Marcus tried to make small talk, testing her responses. Lyra answered briefly, but each word was sharp, clever. Marcus realized she was not just strong physically. Her mind was as sharp as her fangs. As they approached the colony, Lyra finally spoke. I do not understand humans. You are fragile, yet you are bold. Reckless, even. Marcus chuckled. Fragile? Maybe. But boldness often wins battles. Recklessness? Well, sometimes it does too. Lyra's lips twitched, almost a smile. Perhaps you are interesting, human. Marcus felt a strange warmth. This was not a woman to fear or dominate. This was a warrior, like him, who had survived by wit and strength. Respect would be the only way to earn anything from her. The shuttle landed in the colony, where humans had been preparing for Marcus's return. Civilians stared at the silver-haired figure stepping out beside him. Whispers spread quickly. That's the Noctari woman Marcus took as payment. Lyra noticed the stares but ignored them, walking with the same pride she had shown in the Noctari camp. Marcus remained beside her, calm, protective. A colonist approached Marcus nervously. Sir, she is dangerous, isn't she? Marcus shook his head. She is not dangerous if you respect her. She is a warrior, like all of us. Treat her as a human being, not a monster. Lyra's red eyes scanned the colony. Do not lecture me, human. I know my place, which is not here. Marcus didn't argue. You are free. Stay or leave. The choice is yours. Lyra paused, considering his words. For the first time, someone gave her that choice. Most of her kind would have forced her compliance or ignored her opinions. Marcus's words were simple, but they carried weight. Over the next few days, Marcus and Lyra shared quiet moments. She trained with him, sparring in the fields outside the colony. Her speed and reflexes were unlike any humans. Marcus had to adapt his style, learning to anticipate moves that were faster than human reaction times. You are good, Marcus said during one sparring match. Lyra smirked, a flicker of amusement in her eyes. I could go faster, but where is the challenge in that? Challenge makes the fight interesting, Marcus replied. It makes you think, and it makes respect earned. Lyra studied him for a long moment, then nodded. Perhaps she had found something she didn't expect, a human who did not fear her, did not try to control her, and yet could match her strength. One evening, as the twin suns of the colony set, casting long shadows across the fields, Marcus and Lyra stood side by side, watching the sky. You have a strange way of looking at the universe, Lyra said quietly. Humans, they fight, they die, they endure, and yet you seem to find purpose in honor. Marcus shrugged. Honor is what separates a survivor from a killer. It doesn't matter the species. You earn respect by how you fight, not how you command. Lyra's eyes softened, just a little. Perhaps there is more to humans than I believed. Marcus smiled faintly. And perhaps there is more to you than your people admit. For the first time, they were not warrior and prize, not human and alien. They were two equals, recognizing each other's strength. The tension between them was still high, but respect had been planted, like a seed in dry soil. The night fell, stars glittering above, endless and cold. Somewhere in the darkness, the Noctari warband had disappeared, leaving Marcus and Lyra to stand together. Their journey was just beginning, and neither knew what the future held. But one thing was certain. Respect and choice were the foundation of what might grow between them. Marcus looked at Lyra, her silver hair glowing softly under the twin moons. "We've survived worse than this," he said, "and together, we might survive even more." Lyra's red eyes met his, her lips curving in the faintest smile. "Do not expect gratitude, human," she said, but there was a hint of something else. Curiosity, perhaps even admiration. Marcus nodded. "I don't, but I respect what I see." And in that quiet moment, two warriors from different worlds found a fragile understanding, the first step in a bond neither of them had anticipated. The sun rose slowly over the human colony, painting the horizon with soft gold and red. Marcus Kane stood at the edge of the training field watching Lyra move. She was faster than any human, her reflexes sharper, every motion precise and deadly, yet there was a grace to her movements, almost as if she danced while striking. Marcus adjusted his stance and waited for her to notice him. "You're holding back," he said finally, his voice calm. Lyra paused mid-step and turned, her red eyes flashing. "Holding back? I am only sparing you from humiliation, human. Don't mistake my restraint for weakness." Marcus smiled faintly. "You don't have to spare me. I can take it." Lyra arched an eyebrow, clearly amused. "Can you? We shall see." She lunged suddenly, her speed nearly too fast for the human eye to track. Marcus barely raised his plasma blade in time to block her strike. The clash of energy sparks illuminated their faces, and the hum of the blades filled the air. "Not bad," Marcus muttered, pivoting to counterattack. Lyra moved with uncanny agility, dodging and spinning. "Not bad? Is that all you have to say? You humans are so polite." Marcus laughed. "Polite? Maybe. But humans are also clever. That's how we survive." They sparred for hours, neither gaining the upper hand. Lyra tested his defenses, while Marcus tried to predict her impossible speed. Sweat ran down his face, but he never wavered. Finally, Lyra stopped, breathing steadily. You are better than I thought," she admitted, her tone grudging but sincere. Marcus wiped his brow. "You're not easy either. Faster than any human I've trained with. Stronger, too." Lyra tilted her head, studying him. "You do not fear me. Most humans would be dead already, yet you respect me. Why?" Marcus lowered his blade. "Because strength deserves respect. You are not my prisoner. You are a warrior like me. That is all that matters." Lyra considered his words for a moment, then nodded. "Perhaps there is a difference between humans and what I expected. You fight with honor, not cruelty." Marcus's smile grew. "Honor saves more lives than fear ever will." After the sparring session, they walked through the colony. Observing the humans preparing for daily work, Lyra's eyes scanned everything: the farms, the weapons depot, the simple homes. She noticed the fear in the eyes of some colonists, but also determination. "These humans. You are fragile, yet you endure," she said quietly. Marcus shrugged. "We survive because we must. Life is harder when the odds are against you, but that makes us stronger." Lyra's gaze softened just a little. "You are different from the others. Perhaps humans are not as weak as I believed." Marcus looked at her, sensing her growing curiosity. "And you are stronger than any human could imagine. But there is more to you than raw power. I can see it." Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly, but there was a spark of interest there. She didn't respond immediately, only walked beside him, silently considering his words. Days passed, and Marcus and Lyra spent more time together. He taught her human ways, basic survival techniques, strategies for planning attacks, and the importance of alliances. Lyra, in turn, demonstrated her extraordinary strength and speed, often leaving Marcus struggling to keep up. One afternoon, while they were practicing close combat, Lyra knocked Marcus off balance with a spin that sent him to the ground. He grunted as he hit the dirt, but quickly rolled back into position. "You humans are fragile," Lyra said, a teasing smile on her lips. "And yet you recover quickly," Marcus smirked, wiping the dust from his shoulder. "Fragile, yes, but resilient. That's why we survive." Lyra's red eyes glimmered. "Perhaps resilience is your greatest weapon." They sparred again, moving faster and harder than before. Marcus began to notice that Lyra was not just testing his strength, she was testing his mind. Every move she made challenged him to think, to predict, to adapt. "You are clever," he said, breathing heavily after a particularly fast exchange. Lyra paused, looking at him with a faint smile. "I have survived for centuries. Cleverness is necessary." Marcus laughed softly. "Centuries? So you're older than the stars themselves?" Lyra's lips curled. "Older than many humans. But age does not always mean wisdom. Strength, endurance, those are true measures." Marcus nodded. "Agreed. And sometimes honor too." For the first time, Lyra seemed to hesitate, as if weighing his words. "Honor? Humans value it highly. Your kind is peculiar." Marcus chuckled. "We may be peculiar, but we are also capable of great loyalty and trust. Traits your kind might not always understand." Lyra looked at him, studying him quietly. Slowly, she nodded. Perhaps there was something in this human that she could respect, not just his skill, but his spirit. That evening, Marcus and Lyra returned to the colony. Children peeked out from behind walls, curious about the silver-haired woman who had come with Marcus. Farmers paused in their work to stare. Rumors would spread, as they always did. Lyra ignored the stares, walking with the same pride she had always carried. Marcus stayed beside her, protective but not controlling. He had no need to assert dominance. Respect was more powerful than fear. As night fell, Marcus led her to the edge of the colony, where a small hill overlooked the fields. The twin moons shone softly, casting gentle light across the land. "Why do you bring me here?" Lyra asked, her voice calm. Marcus gestured to the fields below. "Look at this. Humans have struggled here, barely surviving. And yet, they endure. They fight. They rebuild, and they protect each other. It's not just strength, it's community. That's why I fight. That's why I survive." Lyra studied the scene below, her expression thoughtful. "Humans, fragile and persistent. Perhaps there is something admirable in that." Marcus smiled. "You see it. That's all I wanted. Sometimes understanding is more important than power." Lyra's gaze met his. For a moment, the fierce, untouchable warrior seemed almost human. There was curiosity, respect, and a hint of trust in her eyes. "You are different from others," she admitted quietly. "Most would have demanded obedience. You offer freedom." Marcus nodded. "Freedom is earned, not taken. You are not my prisoner. You are my equal." Lyra's eyes flickered with something she rarely showed: softness. "Perhaps I can respect that, even if I do not yet trust it fully." The next day, trouble arrived. Scouts reported a small fleet of Noctari ships heading toward the colony. Lyra's red eyes flashed with anger. "They have come for me," she said sharply. Marcus stepped beside her. "Then we will meet them together. You have your choice. You can fight or leave, but I will not allow them to take you by force." Lyra studied him for a moment, then nodded. "Very well. Let us see if your humans can survive against my people." Together they rallied the colony's defenses. Marcus coordinated human soldiers, while Lyra demonstrated her superior combat skills. She moved through the battlefield with grace and precision, her presence both inspiring and terrifying. Marcus fought beside her, blending human strategy with her raw strength. Despite their differences, they complemented each other perfectly. Marcus's clever planning and human resilience balanced Lyra's supernatural speed and power. Each skirmish ended with their enemies retreating, unable to predict the combination of mind and muscle. After the battle, the colonists cheered for both of them. Lyra, however, remained distant, though her eyes occasionally flicked toward Marcus, a silent acknowledgment of his skill and bravery. "You fight well, human," she said quietly later as they stood on the hill once more. "Perhaps we can learn from each other." Marcus nodded. "Perhaps. And perhaps we can survive together." Lyra's lips curved slightly, the faintest smile. "Do not expect gratitude, human. I am not yours to command." "I do not want gratitude," Marcus said. "I respect strength, and I respect you." For the first time, Lyra seemed to relax, if only a little. She had faced countless warriors, countless challenges, yet this human intrigued her. He was strong, clever, and different. Perhaps he was someone she could trust, or at least respect. The night sky stretched above them, endless and quiet. The stars shone, distant and cold, yet somehow comforting. Two warriors from different worlds stood together, not as master and prize, but as equals, learning to understand each other. The future was uncertain, and challenges were sure to come. But for the first time, Marcus and Lyra were not alone. They had each other, and in that bond, they found a fragile, growing trust.